here with Trevor James, EDM Magazine. We're here with Greg from Allen and Heath. We're going to check out the new Xone So tell us what's the deal with the new DB2.
Okay, the DB2 from Allen and Heath has a massive amount of features in the box. So we'll start right at the back here. You've got master mix out on balanced XLRs, you've got booth out on 1/4" jacks, you've got analog and digital record outs, you've got a whole selection here of analog ins with line and phonos. It's worth mentioning that you've got 2 switchable line and phonos there, which is a hardware preamp, but on the menu system we can actually set channels 1 and 4 to have a software preamp, so you can have 4 vinyl turntables if you want. There's 2 digital ins, there's X-Link for connection to new Xone K2, and there's a USB sound card with 4 stereo sends and 4 stereo returns, as well as giving the option to route for say, controlling with Tractor Pro software. On the top panel here, we have a thing called the input matrix, which was first showcased on the Xone DB4. This literally means that no longer are you restricted to physical inputs being on a certain channel. I can literally move and reroute and change the selection, so I could have every input connected on the back and literally just say analog, USB or digital, 1, 2, 3, 4, move it around, change the arrangement for the DJ. Some people like working on certain channels. It may be that somebody comes in with a new audio interface. Usually that can cause a problem in the club. No longer. Plug in, whether it's free, where would you like your channels? Really cool feature. Also opens up when you want to use the effects engines here. You've got twin effects engines, so you can actually route a track, across all channels, apply a different effect process to another track as well. On this section here, we've got a feature called Xone Trimodal EQ. So this is a three-way EQ system. You've got standard asymmetric EQ, filter mode, and isolator. So in an isolator mode, that's total kill. You've also got a filter system, and if you just hit the menu function and say EQ setup, you can just scroll through and choose between isolator, EQ, and filter. So I'll move it to filter. Now I've got a high and a low pass filter and adjustable resonance here as well. So it's a really intriguing way to actually allow yourself to kind of mix and maybe change the way you mix as well.
Exactly.
So it's a really cool thing. There's a mic channel here. The mic can actually be routed to the effects engines as well. So if you want an example of, put a reverb or some sort of delay on your voice, totally possible. Which is
something you don't typically see on DJ mixes.
So that's another cool little feature lurking there. Here's obviously kind of what's bringing a lot of attention is obviously these twin effects engines. You've got delays, reverbs, resonators, modulators, and damage style effects. These have come from Allen Heath's iLive Pro Touring console and been manipulated and changed for DJ kind of BPM awareness and parameters. So you've got a very long heritage here of studio quality effects, and that's what's another big draw about the DB2 and the DB4. So it's really easy to get going with the effects engines. If you go to the bottom, there's a big effect on button, switch it on. The first thing you'll get to is a filter. You've got a high and a low pass filter there, as well as the filter that was on the EQ. You've then got a big dry and wet knob, so now we can actually start. And as soon as you then manipulate the effects, you move up to the menu screen, you can then
isolate certain frequencies with the delay.
Change the shape.
Very nice.
You can also change the beat fractions at the top. So you've got automatic BPM detection.
Nice.
Really kind of get down with your grooves and have some good fun there. It's worth noting that the menu screen gives you a lot of display information, the type of effect, what EQ mode you're in. So if somebody was to say, how do I know that the menu's been switched from filter to isolator, it tells you right at the bottom EQ ISO, EQ fit, so it's very quick, whether your crossfaders on or off and what the shape is. So there's a lot of features there as well. If you want to then change the effects, there's more than just obviously one delay. If you hit select, you can then scroll up and down, choose another effect inside the delay category. So you've got around 50 odd effects to choose from. There's a roller feature. The roller feature is literally like a sample and looper.
Yeah.
So, and that's built in. So if you want, you could use the input matrix to move a track over, do some looping, get really kind of hands-on.
Kind of just mix it up.
And really spice up the kind of flow. there's really cool things. There's like phases, one I like called D12. Let's just change that. And it's really easy to just start to develop in kind of your own way of how to use these effects. So there's just loads of, the damage section has some really intriguing effects. There's things called stutter, slice and dice, overdrive, distortion, bit bash. More obviously kind of, like here the stutter's like kind of very choppy on the signal. They're obviously probably the more noticeable kind of effects, whereas the other effects you can use kind of in moderation and find there's a whole load of flanges and reverbs. It's just a massive amount of features to just really kind of start playing with, and it's very quick to kind of find and develop your sound. And what's really cool as well, if you hit the menu, you can actually go and you can actually change the crossfader setup to be post effects. So now I've got tails.
Oh, there you go.
There's a lot more around the pre and post effects that we won't go into right now, but it goes really deep. You've got real flexibility and kind of ultimate creativity here. Massive amount of options for DJs to get their heads around. If you use the USB sound card at the back, you can also access the USB routing menu, and because you've got 4 sends and returns, you can literally send back into, say, Tractor like I'm doing now, your mix, and so you've got your actual effects and the filters from the DB4 and DB2 in Tractor. So
all you got 4 sends and returns.
So that's a really cool thing. And when you actually look at the send, you've got so many options to route the signals. It's again another massively led feature. And finally, there's a button that lurks, and it's called MIDI shift. Okay. When you're in MIDI shift, these controls here disconnect from the mixer, so even though now I'm messing around with the effect, still, I can actually map these to, say, Tractor, cue, play, sync.
Oh, cool.
So I could use the DB2.
So it also doubles as a Tractor controller.
Yeah, you can use it as a controller. So a lot of options there. You have actually got full MIDI, only mic and the headphones, but of course, if you map that to MIDI, that's going to change the EQ, but MIDI shift, you can literally be cue, play, messing around with the effects.
Nice.
A lot of options, really accessible, and the general feedback from NAMM has been, it's a fantastic piece of kit, really great sound quality, and the way the layout of the effects engines are kind of very intuitive, just to start working your way up and find a way to learn how to create some new sounds. It's shipping right now, so
awesome.
I recommend if you can. Go and have a sound demo.
Definitely. And if anybody wants to pick up any more information on this, they go to
www.alan-heath.com, or you can go to www.xone.co.uk/DB2, and that's Xone with an X, just in case anyone forgets.
Xone with an X. Definitely. Well, it's a powerhouse of a unit. I like the MIDI control, the MIDI shift implementation. I mean, it's definitely nice to be able to control everything. Your 4 sends and returns through USB. That's brilliant, man. I mean, Allen & Heath has always been world renowned for its EQs. So, I mean, it's just fantastic. EQs and filters, man. I've always been a big fan. So.
And finally, with all of what we've just discussed, you've got the X-Link feature that was first seen on the DB4. So I can power my K2
through a networking cable. That's cool.
Through a network cable, and save a USB port on my computer. So it really is truly a mixer that's just going to expand.
It can totally expand. Now you can run 2 of these.
We can daisy chain 2.
You can daisy chain 2 of them to it. Or with the K2, you can also just use this proprietary with just your computer.
Exactly. So a massive amount of really well thought and developed new features from Allen & Heath and the Xone team.
Definitely. Well, as infinitely expandable as it is, this mixer is a definite powerhouse. Again, you can go to alan-heath.com, check out the Xone with an X, and thank you so much, Greg.
No worries.
We appreciate all the wealth of information.